Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So Democrats expanded their Senate majority by one senator this week. On Tuesday, Raphael Warnock defeated Herschel Walker, as many people expected, in that Georgia runoff election. However, the Democrats' majority may be in danger yet again, as Kyrsten Sinema, many people said that she would pivot to the left because she has a primary challenge coming up. She has actually decided to switch her party affiliation to independent and leave the Democrat Party. Mainly this is in name. It's very evident that she still is going to continue to vote the way that she is voting. She might block some of Biden's legislation. She's just doing what she needs to do to get reelected in the state of Arizona. But still, that may actually not be enough to save her seat in 2024. And the Democrats may be in trouble in the state if she does indeed run again as an independent, and it very well could end up splitting the vote. So we are going to dive into this, but first I have to tell you guys about our good friends over at the Epoch Times. What's the Epoch Times? The Epoch Times brings you breaking U.S. and world news on all your devices and original Epoch TV programs like popular podcasts and award-winning documentaries. Why do we trust the Epoch Times? They report important news and facts that other media ignore. They focus on clear, fact-based journalism without spin or hidden agendas, so you can arrive at your own conclusions. Despite the attacks from many sides, the Epoch Times continue to dedicate themselves to reporting the truth. They also have a special offer for our viewers. Just sign up and start watching. No credit card required, no strings attached. If you decide to subscribe within 14 days, it's just $1 for 2 months. So give them a try. We think you'd like it. You could try it out at watchepic.com/redeagle. That is watchepic.com/redeagle. So, Kyrsten Sinema, switching her party affiliation to independent. She has left the Democrat Party. She said that she does not expect a change in how the Senate operates. And you're going to have a lot of people on the right that are going to be celebrating this, like, oh, she's coming over to the conservative side of things. And that's not entirely true. You have to look at Kyrsten Sinema's track record and her history. She was a part of a lot of far-left groups. When she was younger, around 20 years ago, she was even an ardent member and supporter of the Green Party before she wanted to get into electoral politics. And then when she goes into the House, she's kind of LARPing as a moderate, and she's continued this fake moderate turn into the Senate. And now it's come full circle, as now she's going to be calling herself an independent. She's going to not be a member of the Democratic Party anymore. And it goes to show that all she cares about is power. She has no conviction. She's an atheist. It's very telling. All she really cares about is power, and she doesn't really have a worldview that's set in stone that is not self-serving. She'll do anything she can do to get reelected, maintain power, and it shows. And this is exactly what this is about, because as many people know, she was at risk in a primary. In literally every single poll, she was losing. She was losing polls to people that lost in 2022, like Kathy Hoffman, even Ruben Gallego. He's been defeating her in many polls that we've seen. He's one of the furthest left politicians in the state of Arizona. A lot of people say that he's somebody who is not really electable, and many people speculated that if he did defeat Sinema in a primary, and it appears that he would if the two were to face off against each other, that he actually would cause Republicans to be able to pick up this seat. And a lot of people also expected Republicans could do it anyways, because Sinema did have base issues, even though I think a lot of Democrats would come home to vote for her anyways. But still, the attacks within left-wing media against Sinema because of the fact that she doesn't sign on to 100% of Biden's legislation, even though she signs on to a large supermajority of it, but there are some things that she has not signed on to, goes to show that the pressure really did end up getting to her, and the primary challenger did end up getting to her to the point where she'll be running as an independent. Now, conservatives need not be fooled by this. I'm sure that she'll probably peel off a decent portion of like the McCain-style voters in the electorate in 2024. I personally think that that demographic is not super consequential, to the point where if Gallego at least gets a large portion of the Democrats on board, as the primary would indicate that he would, that any Republican would be able to win if she is going to be there splitting the vote, which also begs the question, would she potentially just not run for re-election? Would she drop out? What would happen then? But Gallego now has been teasing a Senate bid yet again. He's already been doing this for quite some time. The state party has wanted to primary out Sinema for the past several years or so, and now they don't have to. And it seems as if Gallego has the nomination if he truly wants it. The Democrat bench, I mean, Greg Stanton, is he potentially going to run for it? I think that he would rather keep his seat in the state of Arizona there. I mean, he probably would win re-election, or any Democrat would probably be able to win that seat, but it really depends on what happens in 2024. We're several years out. We don't know what's going to happen, but Republicans have that pickup opportunity. So either way, I think that this is a net positive for Republicans. Especially those that are authentically conservative, because now you potentially could have Andy Biggs run on the Republican ticket, and he is somebody who is an outperformer. He is somebody that probably would defeat both Gallego and Sinema in the state of Arizona in 2024 if she is going to be somebody that is going out there and splitting the vote. And that is very true. And we'll see what happens when the time comes. But still, this is a big development. Democrats are going to have problems within their caucus. It's very possible Sinema could be pivoting to the right. You may say it's all for show, and I agree it's all for show. She wants to maintain power, but she might have to do that in order to maintain power. And conservatives need not be fooled by this, but still, it could still cause problems in the meantime for Biden, for the legislation that he wants to pass and the legislation that he wants to put forward. And this is true. Now, a lot of people are talking about what will happen with Joe Manchin. Would Manchin switch parties? Because he has re-election coming up in 2 years. And if he does go for re-election, it's very possible that he is going to get absolutely shellacked, especially because it is a presidential year. West Virginia has become pretty much the most Republican state in the union besides Wyoming. It's very possible that depending on who the nominee is, depending on if Biden runs or if Kamala Harris is the nominee, it very well could pass Wyoming in terms of being the most Republican state in the union, which is crazy because it was a reliable Democrat state up until the year 2000 when Bush won it. And even then, a lot of prognosticators and forecasters said it would go down the wire, it would be a toss-up. But still, in terms of 2024, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because you're talking about that being another seat Republicans could add. But what happens in West Virginia? I don't believe Manchin's going to switch parties, by the way, because of the fact that I think he would have done so after 2020. And even then, he still signed on to a lot of Biden's policies and legislation, to the point where I think he is pretty much DOA in 2024 by all means. I mean, he barely got by in 2018 against an awful candidate who barely campaigned, and that was after Manchin voted for Kavanaugh. That was after he pivoted hard to the right. And that was in a blue wave national environment. 2024, he's pretty much going to be out the door. Montana, another case of that being the case, presidential year. You talk about the fact that those coattails down ballot do matter. This cycle showed that more so than not in 2022. And then Ohio's another example where, I mean, the Sherrod Brown clone got destroyed by 7 points or so this cycle. It really does apparently seem as if Brown is going to struggle to win re-election. So you're talking about the seats Republicans could pick up. Arizona got easier. You're going to be adding 3 out of the gate. But then we also have to talk about what happens up in the Rust Belt. I mean, Democrats got that trifecta in Michigan this cycle. That's going to be difficult. I think Wisconsin is a pickup opportunity. Pennsylvania, not so much. It really depends on who's at the top of the ticket. It depends if the Republican Party is unified. There's just so much that we don't know. Are they going to learn how to play the game in terms of the electoral system? Because if they're not able to play the game, then it's going to really spell a lot of trouble for them moving forward into 2024 beyond. Nevada's another example, because even though they got the turnout that they needed to defeat Catherine Cortez Masto in both the Vegas area and the Reno area, they didn't match the Dems' ballot harvesting in the rural areas. Republicans underperformed in a lot of those rural counties, and if Laxalt got Trump's 2020 margins in them, he would be senator-elect right now. And Republicans need to match the Dems at their own game in order to win, and not only just take back the Senate, because they're likely going to do that anyways, but they're going to have to take back the Senate with a more commanding majority, or the incoming president in 2025, if they do defeat Joe Biden, is not exactly going to be able to get anything done, and they would just basically be a lame duck. The government would be divided. You'd have executive orders, but that would pretty much be it. But either way, this is technically something that could be a net positive for 2024, but Sinema's not your friend. She's not conservative. She's not even really that much of an independent. She's doing what is going to benefit her career, or what she believes will benefit her career. I don't think it's going to at the end of the day, but still, we'll see what happens moving forward. I still expect her to sign on to a lot of the Dem legislation. This could cause issues in committees, although she has technically said she would still caucus with the Dems. But now she gets to wear the independent label, wear purple, try and grift off of some of the independents who just love the idea of these people leaving the Dems, even though they're still going to be backing a lot of what the Dems have to say. So don't buy the grift, but it could help us electorally in 2024. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.